there's different aspects to the do's and don'ts of social media. If you're running your own practice, you kind of have to be managing two profiles. So you have your own profile as an individual financial planner, or you have to manage the social media platform or profile of the organization. Now, the do's and don'ts for both, you may think that they're the same, but they're totally different. For an organization, there's elements that you need to look at, that who actually manages it, you have enough resources, and are they equipped to actually respond? And we find that a lot of organizations currently, they kind of get an intern to manage their social media, and there's no one kind of, and I don't like using the word policing, but it's more like who actually manages and makes sure that whatever goes out is proper, and that's where they get into trouble. I think when it comes to a policy, it's most like you're policing people. It's like you have to do this, you do this and do that. It has to be a guide. And there's organizations out there who have quite a very simple policy. They're like, use your common sense. And in the presentation, I said, anything that you wouldn't want either your grandmother to see or your pastor, it's a no-no. Because automatically you know it's not right. Hence, a guide is more of a proper word than a policy. Because whether you tell your employees, for instance, that you are not allowed to use social media at all at the office, you're going to block it, they'll go into their mobiles. And if you're saying at all at the office you're not allowed to use social media, whether it's in your mobile or whatever, and you try and put them, for instance, in the dungeon, trust me, when they get home, they'll get into the platform. So somehow they'll even go to the length of creating a fake profile. And that, in a way, builds a very uncomfortable relationship with your employees, almost like you don't trust them at all. And I said that's where the guide comes in. You give them the top 10 guide, or it becomes one simple guide, and you say, anything that brings disrepute to the organization, it's a no-no. And they know that it will go, it's either total dismissal, because it's already in a guide. It's like, you cannot be doing this. And it's always important to use less. So don't put a whole policy that it's written in jargon, it's too legally. So make sure that it's very simple. Staff understand, here are their top 10 tips on how to use a guide to using social media as an employee of X company. I'll take the recent one, that when everybody was against our current, not everybody said, but most of South Africans were against our president. There was this hashtag going ahead, and they even did a march. And you saw in our profession people actually taking to social media and supporting and using this hashtag. In a way, I was looking at it as a consumer, and I say, if I was planning to go through with this financial planner, does it mean that his views on politicals are like this? So he has specific stance on political views. Whereas if the person had already posted something that he's participating in the march, but highlighting the fact that this is why I love SA. SA is coming together and is uniting. As a consumer, it's me who I will interpret the whole social media post. So those are some of the things that people need to be careful on how they post it. So, and I always go into political. We are so guilty of, you want to say as much as you can. You want to be seen as somebody who's also very vocal. I use the word vocal on social media, but not necessarily. And to say anything that's a bit offensive. And we always say, put yourself in that person's shoes. If you had to see a post that is a bit offensive to you, how would you feel? And try and before you post, think. Yeah. Very quick to click that post. And the first thing is to identify target audience. So depending on who you want to target and how you want to target your public, one of the ideal way of doing this is actually sitting and looking and bringing in your web analytics. When it comes to website, people kind of forget, but that's where you could see where all your visitors coming from. You can drill it into race, to gender, or country. And there you would see that, okay, so if people are visiting my website and they're between age 25 and 40, this is the people I need to speak to. So you wouldn't necessarily go directly into a Twitter. Twitter will be your secondary because it's microblogging. But you will kind of go into your Facebook because you know there are more people, they're more engaging. And the second one, you need to have good content. Have content that's very engaging and be able to measure. People just put content and they assume social media will run by itself. It will not. You need to measure and you need to be able to be flexible enough to adapt and change.